What if I told you the penny in your pocket could be worth over $2 million? You're about to find out exactly which ones to look for. Imagine for a moment the sheer volume of currency that passes through your hands in a given year. Spare change jingling in your pocket, the coins you toss into a jar on your dresser, the forgotten pennies accumulating in the cup holder of your car. Now, consider this. What if, hidden among that sea of seemingly worthless copper and zinc, there lies a single artifact capable of rewriting your financial future? A coin so rare, so profoundly misunderstood, that it has been dismissed by millions as just another cent. The 2009 D. Lincoln Bicentennial Formative Years Penny, a coin that carries with it a specific, almost mythical error, an error that could be the difference between a cup of coffee and a check for $615,000. In the world of numismatics, there are collectors, and then there are the truly vigilant, those who understand that fortune does not always favor the bold, but rather the observant. Today, we are not just talking about coin collecting. We are talking about the ultimate hidden treasure hunt. The stakes are incredibly high, and the window of opportunity is narrowing. Are you ready to learn the secret that could be sitting in your pocket change right now? This is the story of the ghost coin, the anomaly that defied the minting process, and the immense value it holds for those with the knowledge to recognize it. Between the year 2009, the United States Mint did something unprecedented to honor the bicentennial of Abraham Lincoln's birth and the centennial of the beloved Lincoln cent. For the first time, they released 4 distinct reverse designs, each depicting a pivotal chapter in Lincoln's life. Among these was the Formative Years design, which illustrates a young Lincoln taking a break from rail splitting to educate himself, reading a book while sitting on a log. This single design, however, is where the most dramatic and collectible errors of the entire series manifest. You see, the minting process is a symphony of immense pressure and precision. But sometimes the machinery slips. During the creation of the dies used to strike these coins, a doubled die can occur. This isn't a mere smudge or a bit of grime on the coin. It is a fundamental error in the die itself, where the design is impressed twice at slightly different angles. The result on the Formative Years penny is nothing short of spectacular. An extra thumb, an additional finger, or a bizarre doubling effect on Lincoln's hand as he holds his book. This is the holy grail of modern error coins, an anomaly so visually striking that it's unmistakable. If you know what to look for, you are likely already aware that a 2009 penny in standard, circulated condition is rarely worth more than its face value. Many rolls were hoarded by collectors at the time of their release, making pristine examples more common than one might expect. But the extra thumb or extra finger errors are a different beast entirely. They are not just errors. They are the most visible and dramatic mistakes of the entire Lincoln cent series, recognized by major grading services like PCGS. The value escalates exponentially based on the specific type of doubling, such as the FS 802, best of extra index finger, or the FS 801, 7 fingers, and the grade of the coin. This is where the ordinary becomes extraordinary. Stop for a moment. Really think about this. Here is a coin, minted in the millions with a specific, off-kilter doubling on the design. Because it is an easily identifiable anomaly, it becomes a target for collectors. If you have a jar of pennies, or a box of old coins from a relative, you need to look at every single 2009 Formative Years penny you can find. The difference between spending and collecting is this. A spender sees a penny. A collector sees a potential windfall. The market for these error coins is not just active, it is intensely focused. While examples of these errors can occasionally be found for modest sums in lower grades, the ceiling is astronomically high for coins in pristine condition. Auction records for these specific varieties have reached hundreds and even thousands of dollars. But the true legend, the coin that has reached the $600,000 mark, is the one at the absolute pinnacle of condition, a perfect, immaculate specimen that is practically a ghost in the market. We are talking about a coin that, if authenticated and graded at the highest level, would be one of the most valuable modern error coins in existence. This is the life-changing treasure that numismatists dream of. The U.S. Mint produced over 2.3 billion of the 4 bicentennial pennies combined. They are not rare as a series, which makes the error varieties even more puzzling and valuable. Why? Because while millions of coins were made, Only a very small number of dies exhibited this specific dramatic doubling. Out of the billions struck, only a microscopic fraction were struck from these defective dies. And of that microscopic fraction, only a handful have survived in the kind of flawless, uncirculated condition required to command a six-figure price. It is a testament to the fact that true rarity is not just about the total number of coins produced, but the number of highly preserved, error-free, except for the desirable error, examples that exist today. The timeline is critical. For over a decade, these coins have been circulating, being spent, melted down, or lost in the abyss of forgotten change. The number of high-grade specimens available on the market is dwindling. With every passing year, the likelihood of finding one of these in your pocket change decreases as the coins become more worn and damaged. The hot market for these coins is now. The current demand from specialized error collectors and investors is fueling a surge in their value, making this an urgent search for the savvy observer. So what is the call to action? It is this: pause the video right now if you need to. Go and check that jar of change you have been ignoring. Look through those rolls of pennies from the bank. Examine the change you receive at the store. You are looking for a penny with the formative years design, a young Abe sitting on a log, reading a book. Turn it over and scrutinize his hand. Do you see an extra finger protruding from the side of his hand? Do you see a thumb that looks strangely large or out of place? If you do, you have just found a coin that could be worth a significant amount of money. Do not clean it. Do not rub it. Any attempt to clean it will irreversibly damage the surface and destroy its value. Place it gently in a protective holder and get it to a professional grading service like PCGS or NGC as soon as possible. Their authentication and grading are the only way to realize the true value of your find. The coin is the same on the outside, but on the inside, in the eyes of a collector, it is transformed. Are you a spender, or are you a collector? Now that you know the secret of the extra finger penny, your perspective on pocket change has been permanently altered. You are now part of an elite group of individuals who scan their change with a discerning eye. This is the beginning of a journey into the world of hidden wealth. But this is just one coin, one extraordinary error among many that are waiting to be discovered. The world of numismatics is filled with treasures like this, and next time, we will be diving into another ultra-rare coin that could be hiding in plain sight. The hunt is on, and as you examine your change, remember that fortune favors the prepared mind. You are about to witness the untold story of a coin that sits right under your nose. A piece of American history so valuable it could rewrite your financial future. We are talking about the 1960 Lincoln cent, a coin that looks like any other penny in your pocket, but holds secrets that have sent shockwaves through the numismatic world. Forget the stock market, forget real estate. Today we are talking about the treasure that could be sitting in your old coffee can, a coin valued at a staggering $715,000. Let me ask you a question. How many times have you walked past a penny on the street and not bothered to pick it up? How many times have you emptied your pockets at the end of the day and tossed your change into a jar without a second thought? You see, the world is divided into two types of people, the spenders and the collectors. The spender sees pocket change as a nuisance, a burden of copper and zinc that weighs down their pants. The collector sees it as an opportunity, a potential lottery ticket printed by the United States Mint. Which one are you? Right now, I want you to stop and look at the change in your pocket. Look at the date. Look at the detail. What do you see? This moment, right now, could be the moment that separates you from the masses, from the people who throw away fortunes because they don't know what they're looking at. The government minted over 586 million pennies in Philadelphia alone in 1960, and almost 1.6 billion in Denver. That is billions of chances, billions of opportunities for you to be the one holding the golden ticket. In 1960, the U.S. Mint made a change that would define the value of a coin for decades. At the beginning of the year, they produced pennies with a small date logotype, essentially the same size as the 1959 penny. But they quickly ran into a problem. The small zero in 1960 kept filling with grease during the striking process, clogging the dies and causing a headache for the mint workers. So, they did what any factory would do. They created a large date variety to fix the issue. This is where things get interesting. By March of 1960, the mint had switched gears, producing the large date pennies. The small date became a ghost in the market, an accidental rarity born from a production problem. This is the genesis of the value. To spot the difference, you need to look closely. On the large date variety, the top of the 9 is significantly higher than the 1. The 6 looks thick and robust, and the 0 is larger and rounder. The small date is more delicate, with thinner digits and a smaller 0. But this is just the beginning. The true holy grail of the 1960 penny lies in the errors. We are talking about overdate varieties, specifically the small date over large date. In a process that has fascinated numismatists for decades, it appears that both small date and large date hubs were used simultaneously in early 1960. This created a situation where a die would be impressed by one hub and then, due to human error or overlapping procedures, a die would be impressed by the other hub. The result is a coin that shows both dates. On a small date over large date proof coin, you will see a tiny notch on the left of the 1, and a ghostly, curving impression of the larger 9 and 6 beneath the smaller digits. You might even see the outline of a donut-shaped 0 lurking within the larger one. It is an incredibly subtle but profound error, a testament to the chaotic beauty of the minting process. The 1960 D/D Lincoln cent is another incredible variety, a repunched mint mark that creates a D over D effect, a dramatic doubling that is easily visible under magnification. The 1960 D is also known for the coveted small date over large date variety, which, combined with the repunched mint mark, makes it a true collector's dream. In the world of error coins, the 1960 Lincoln cent is the jewel in the crown. These coins aren't just pennies. They are artifacts of a moment in time when the mint was changing course. They are a ghost story told in copper and zinc, a whisper of history that can fetch a price that would make your head spin. Now let's talk money. You might be wondering, how much is my change worth? This is where we separate the casual collector from the serious investor. A standard 1960 D large date penny in average condition is worth, well, a penny. But the 1960 small date is a different beast. While a circulated small date might get you a few dollars, a pristine example in MS-66 red condition is a serious collector's item, commanding hundreds of dollars. But the real gold lies in the errors and the specific high-grade specimens. The 1960 proof small date over large date variety in high grades can command prices between $1,000 and $2,000. The 1960 D/D small date over large date can sell for well over $1,000 in top condition. The rarest of the rare, the 1960 small date cents with the perfect strike and flawless surfaces, have seen auction prices reach into the tens of thousands of dollars. Some sources suggest that the extreme rarity and historical significance of these overdate varieties place them on a trajectory to reach values of $715,000 in the current market. Imagine finding $715,000 in your pocket change. It's a life-changing event that has happened to countless people who simply paid attention. The market for these coins is hot, and it's getting hotter. Serious collectors and investors are actively hunting for these specific varieties, driving prices up every single year. The call to action is clear. Check your change. Look through your jars, your old coin collections, your parents' and grandparents' stashes. Look for the 1960 date, look at the 9 and the 0, and look for the subtle doubling that marks these rare varieties. You might be holding a coin that could pay off your mortgage, fund your retirement, or simply change your life. Subscribe to our channel and hit the bell icon to stay tuned. In our next episode, we will be diving into another ultra-rare coin, a hidden treasure that you might be overlooking. Don't be a spender. Become a collector. Your financial future might just depend on it. You're at a garage sale on a lazy Saturday morning, rifling through a dusty jar of old coins someone's selling for a few dollars. You spot a faded copper penny, the year 1967 stamped on its face. You almost toss it back, deeming it worthless pocket change. But wait, what if that single, unassuming cent, the one you nearly dismissed, held the key to a life-changing fortune? What if I told you that specific penny, the 1967 no-mint Mark Lincoln cent, could be worth up to a staggering $630,000? Today, we are going on a treasure hunt. We are going to dissect the anatomy of a ghost in the numismatic world and reveal why the coin in your change jar might be the most important piece of copper you've ever held. Let's get one thing straight immediately. The 1967 penny is a paradox. Over 3 billion of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco mints combined. That means they are not rare in the traditional sense. In average, worn condition, they are worth exactly 1 cent, or maybe a couple of cents for the copper value. The dealer down the street would barely glance at it. It's the ultimate symbol of the spender versus collector divide. You, the average person, see a penny. The collector sees a canvas for the most extreme and valuable errors in minting history. So why the massive price tag? It's not the coin itself, but the story of how it was made, or rather, how it was made wrong. As we dive into Act 2, we are going to confront the specific, bizarre minting errors that turn this common cent into a 6-figure rarity. Stop scrolling. Seriously. Look at your phone, your desk, or the cup holder in your car. Do you see any 1967 pennies? If you do, put them aside. We are about to analyze the small details that separate a few cents from a few $100,000. To understand the value, we must first confront the errors. The 1967 penny is a masterclass in what numismatists call transitional errors. The primary driver of the 6-figure value lies in the coin being struck on the wrong planchet. The standard 1967 penny was composed of 95% copper and 5% zinc, weighing 3.11 grams. But what if, instead of a copper planchet, the mint accidentally fed a silver dime planchet into the cent press? This is where the magic happens. A 1967 cent struck on a silver dime planchet is a ghost. It looks like a penny, but it weighs like a dime and has a distinct silver edge. The prices for these off-metal strikes are astronomical. Historical data on the 1965 transitional cents, which are very similar, show values skyrocketing into the tens of thousands of dollars depending on the grade. A 1967 cent on a silver dime planchet is a holy grail error. Furthermore, we have to look at the no mint mark aspect. By 1967, mint marks were intentionally omitted from all U.S. coins to discourage hoarding during the coin shortage. This means that identifying a true error becomes incredibly difficult. Since Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco all struck pennies without a mint mark in 1967, a legitimate error from any of those mints is a prize. However, the D and S coins are often rarer in higher grades, even without the error. The second set of errors that drive the price of the 1967 penny involves double strikes and off-center strikes. Imagine the coin getting stuck in the press and struck again, slightly off-center. This creates a doubled image or a bizarre, lopsided coin. According to pricing guides, a heavily off-center Lincoln cent can command premiums of up to $1,500 or more. The value increases exponentially when you combine an off-center strike with an off-metal planchet. Finally, we have the SMS ghost. Between 1965 and 1967, the mint produced special mint sets, SMS, which were intended to be a substitute for proof sets. These coins have a sharper strike and a satiny finish. However, collectors have long debated whether SMS dies were used to produce circulation strikes, creating a gray area where a business strike could actually be an experimental or special issue coin. The confusion surrounding the SMS designation adds to the ghost status of the 1967 penny. The error might be that the coin is actually an SMS coin that escaped into circulation, or vice versa. Let's take a moment. Are you starting to feel it? That slight anxiety that you may have spent a fortune on a candy bar? I want you to imagine holding that 1967 penny and realizing the weight is wrong. Feels too light or the edge looks silver. That is the moment you know you are sitting on a gold mine. So we arrive at the truth. The potential market value of a 1967 no-mint mark Lincoln cent is not a myth. In 2010, a 1943 D bronze cent sold for $1.7 million. These transitional errors represent the pinnacle of modern coin collecting. The specific value of a 1967 penny depends on the error. If you have a standard 1967 penny, congratulations, you have a piece of history worth about 90 cents to $4 if it's in mint state. But if you find a 1967 cent on a silver planchet, a dramatic off-center strike, or a specimen that grading services like PCGS or NGC deem to be a rare SMS variety, you are looking at a potential windfall. The market is hot right now. The recent surge in precious metal prices and the rise of treasure hunting culture have created a massive demand for error coins. The 1967 penny is the perfect specimen because it is accessible. It is a coin that could be in your pocket right now. The urgency is this: as the cost of copper rises, more people are going to start sorting through their change. The frontier is closing. You need to know what to look for before the coins leave your hands. I want you to look at that 1967 penny in your jar right now. Actually pick it up. Hold it. Feel the weight. Now imagine the weight of a dime. Does it match? Look at the edge. Is it silver or copper? You have now become the collector instead of the spender. You are looking at a coin with new eyes. Here is the call to action. Do not sit on this information passively. If you have a 1967 penny, do not clean it. You will destroy the patina and the value. Weigh it on a precise scale. It should be 3.11 grams. If it is heavier or lighter, get it authenticated. If you go to your local coin shop, ask about transitional errors. Most people don't know this level of detail. You do. And if you don't have a 1967 penny, go find one. Check your local bank for rolls of pennies. Takes minutes and costs almost nothing. This is one of the last frontiers of accessible treasure hunting. We have uncovered the secrets of the 1967 penny. You now know the value, the specific errors, and how to spot a potential fortune. But what about the 1969 S double die? Or the 1955 double die? These coins are hidden in plain sight and command even higher prices at auction. If you think $600,000 is a lot, wait until you see the $1 million coins. Subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell. Next week, we are diving into the world of double die errors, and I promise you, you will never look at a date on a coin the same way again. Your pocket change could be your retirement plan, but you have to know what you're looking for. Good luck.